All right, so we're recording this just over a week after the race in Nice. How's the partying been? How's the eating been? Are you 100 kilograms yet?
The partying's been, pretty good. The eating's probably been better. Yeah, I don't feel my best right now. I'm not gonna lie, but this is what I do. I love food and drink. So like when I like focus on a big race and like I take that out, I'll probably go a bit too much, the other way. But I'm having a good time, and it's needed sometimes, especially with the bill like I've had.
Had you had you cut weight a lot like leading up to the race? Had you been trying to do that?
Yeah, so like speaking with Hunter and that, like I speak to him a lot, and like he was saying, oh, he's going to cut some weight, and then that got me thinking a bit. And like being one of the heavier guys, I was like, okay, maybe I try that. So then like I sort of sit around 92, 93 probably, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to try and cut away. I spoke to a dietitian in Qatar, and he was like, yeah, well, it's good for running and things like that. So I ended up getting down to like 89 kilos before Doha, and it was horrible. I have to admit, like my running was better. There's no doubt about it. Like my track and interval work was better. But like HYROX is a different beast to just doing track intervals. And I don't know if you know, but like I started the Doha race and I was flying. And then yeah, just cramped up like really bad straight after the sled push. And like been speaking to people, and people were saying that you're too light, you need more body fat and stuff. And I think that was kind of true. I think I was too lean, too light. And then, yeah, so I had 3 weeks after that, 3 or 4 weeks after that race to just go bugger it, go back to how I was. And I just started eating like I was. And I think I was back up to 92, 93 and felt better for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fine line as well because you've got to fuel the training, and training leading up to a race is more intense. So you almost need more calories at that point in time, don't you?
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, like I think HYROX is a different beast. Like you're running an hour, and like I sweat so much. Like when I tell you how much I sweat, like it's ridiculous. So yeah, I'm losing so much like sweat and electrolytes and salts. So yeah, I need to be heavier to sort of hold some of that water in for sure.
Yeah. All right. So you finished second in the race, which is a brilliant
Yeah.
result. Like you'd said to me and Paul beforehand that you were going for the win. So, but
Yeah.
how are you feeling about the result? You happy with it?
Um, Yes, I am happy with it. Like, if you'd have said to me a week before the race, or if you'd have said to me like a week after the Doha race when I couldn't train or do anything that I'd get second, I'd have snapped your hand off. But
Yeah.
like with my performance in the race and like the sort of like the penalty I got, and looking back at a couple of little things where I lost some time, like I could have won that race, and like I felt good like throughout the race. I never felt like I was overreaching, and I felt like just on the right side of the sort of the knife edge. And
Hmm.
yeah, I am happy. There's no doubt about it. Second in the world, 11 seconds difference between me and Alex. But like I definitely had the potential that day to win that race. I feel like yeah,
Yeah. Do you like you said you were going to take it out hard from the start, and you did,
yeah,
obviously. Was
yeah.
that was a tactic? Is that just what you prefer to do anyway, or was that purely because like you felt that was the way to beat Hunter?
Well, everyone knows that the first half of my race, including you, is better than the second half of my race. Right. So we all know that. But no one's seen me at the second half of the race recently because obviously I've not finished races. But my second half has improved a lot, as you've seen from uh, Nice. But yeah, that's always my plan. Like I'm super strong on the first four stations or first three stations, no doubt about it. Like there's not many people can stay with me on that. And I knew Hunter is up there with, like the ski erg and that. Like I think me and him got the same ski erg, the fastest ski erg time in Nice. So like I know I can ski with him. I know I can run with him. So I thought, you know, let's do it. Let's just go for it. If I'm gonna win this race, I need to go out hard and I need to suffer. Like Alex says, like he's not afraid to go out hard. I'm not afraid to go out hard. A lot of people like to ease themselves into this type of race, and like they might, like some people might not be as strong on obviously the first few stations, but like, I've just got to use what I'm good at, and I'm equal, if not the best, at them first few stations. So, you know, if I can get a good lead after that, it messes with people's heads. You know, it makes them doubt themselves and things because it's happened to me before. So yeah, that was the plan to beat Hunter off the ski, which I did. I told you at lunchtime the day before, didn't I?
Yeah,
Said I'm going to beat Hunter off the ski, and I did. And then yeah, like the plan worked really. I think. Yeah.
What pace were you pulling on the ski? Do you remember?
Well, I normally start around 135. I hold that for like 500 ish, and then it normally goes to like 137, 138, and then I'd say the last few hundreds normally about 139, 140. So then yeah, I don't know what that averages out at, but I'm normally 10 seconds ahead, if not more, of like the next person coming out. That's what normally happens.
Mm.
Yeah.
Had you spoke with Alex beforehand about like let's team up on this on Hunter or anything like that?
Yeah, me and Alex chat a lot. We race very similar. If you saw the Vienna race, we're literally like, if you go back over all our races, we're so similar at racing. Like we're always on the road together. We always like end up a few seconds next to each other on each station. And like after the Vienna race, you know, after we did what we did there, um, it was quite apparent that our fitness and our strengths are very similar. So like we chat, and then yeah, we both said like we have to go out hard. Like Hunter's the man to beat. He's a world champion, and like he knows that, and he knew that we have to sort of run the same race. And like if you saw us on the sled push and stuff, you know, we were taking breaks at the same time and stuff, and then yeah, that's all kind of like planned, like because we race similar, and I know if we could work together, you know, we could get in Hunter's head a bit, and I think that works.
Mm, mm. Um, the sled. So you've got a penalty at the sled pull, which can believe like ruin
Yeah.
someone's race. Really, what did you think it was harsh, and what was going through your head at the time?
Right, this weird rules this because you can't really see what where you're stepping back to. But then when I'm looking back on the footage, I think it was very harsh. Like I'm not over the line. I'm just touching the front of the line, and like it could have easily just gone. Like I've gained no advantage whatsoever from that, and I just think like it's just difficult in it, like to call it. I think it was quite harsh, but it was I think it wasn't blatantly obvious where he could have gone like no. Do you know what I mean? Like I think it was borderline where if he hadn't have called it, no one would have said anything because it was you know, I literally just went up to the line. I feel like, but yeah, it would ruin most people's races, and I think it would have ruined my race 6 months ago. But it did the opposite to me. It just like it annoyed me, fired me up, a massive release of testosterone after that, and I just went like, yeah, I just went for it after that.
Penalty is definitely like disproportionate to
Yeah,
what you did. You know, hopefully they look at changing it.
yeah.
But that moment, like you said about previously, it would like ruin the race, and it didn't. Like, is that's the like the decision that you make really at the time? Is that something you've been working on?
Not really, no. Like I've done a post and stuff. Obviously, the situation I was in before the race wasn't the best, and like I say, like for the first time, since doing HYROX, so I wasn't just racing for the win. I needed the money. Like I've got a wife and a son to support, and like I've come back from Dover without a job, and yeah, so like for once, it was like I was fighting for not just to get a first or something. Like I needed the sort of, you know, I wanted and needed sort of the paycheck, you know, especially after what happened in Vienna when I was coming second, and you know, I felt like I could have took Alex at the second half, and you know, I should have got paid then. And then the Doha race, I was building up to that, and that was a 7K check, and you know, on paper I should have got that. So like all these things which I should have got, I didn't, and then I was just like getting so annoyed with these races that I was doing where I know my fitness is there. I know I can win these races or be up there and get some, you know, money for this. And I was just like, oh God, this can't happen again. And it just changed something in me. It flipped a switch, and I'm like, this isn't happening again. I'm not going through all this, sacrificing all this time and training and money and everything to not walk away with a paycheck or whatever, which I deserve. And yeah, I think, like I say, I think the money drove me for it for sure.
Okay. It looks like you were enjoying it a little bit more out there as well. There were a couple of times where you sort of like looking to G up the crowd and everything like that. And must admit,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, he's been working on it and he's like trying to like enjoy it more and get out there.
Mm.
But was that a conscious decision to do that, or was just
No, because normally I'm dying in a HYROX race, I'm not being funny now. I wasn't dying. I felt okay. Like that's why I was doing it. Like I remember smiling on the farmer's carry, and like I knew I had a little bit more I could go, and yeah, it's just I was enjoying myself because I never enjoyed myself in a HYROX race. But for the first time ever, I think I was just enjoying it because, like I say, I was on the good side of the knife edge. I was on this side of it. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't on the other side. And it's quite a nice side to be on, especially when you lead in the race when I was. And like the support gave me was unbelievable. Like Alex in Vienna, Alex got so much support from the crowd. And honestly, it gives you an extra 2 or 3%. And like, I think obviously because HYROX is the biggest in the UK and like they were there supporting, I felt like they were supporting me a lot of the time, a lot of the UK crowd, and it gave me an extra 2 or 3% for sure. So I have to thank the crowd for that, definitely.
what is it what is it that motivates you and and means you enjoy it? Because you don't always like from afar, it don't always look like you do enjoy it, but
No,
at the same time, like you do put in a lot of hours to the training. So what is it? Is it you just enjoy the competition? What is it?
I like the discipline. I like the discipline that it gives me in life. Like I've definitely got ADHD. There's no doubt about it. Okay, and like I kind of like repeatable things. So I like to wake up every day, and like my wife goes mad at me, but I like the same things. I like to get up at I get up at 4 a.m. Like I have my set routine. I have all my supplements I take. I have my coffee and crumpets and like all this is like monotonously the same each day, and that's how I can just do it. And I thrive off that type of routine. Like thrive, and then but then I love pain. Like I'm obsessed with pain. I like to feel pain, so I like to hurt myself and put myself in positions where I'm in pain. I don't really know why, but I think if you're an elite athlete or someone trying to be there, like you must enjoy pain because you wouldn't be doing it otherwise. And there's definitely a side to me that I thrive off the pain. I love it. So yeah.
Is it because that's like a sign that you think like you're becoming better? Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
like I like to better myself every day. I like to improve every day. Like now I'm just sat here sort of drinking beer and eating chocolate, probably knocking nearly 100 kilos on the scales. And I keep doing it, but then I'm starting to hate myself. I'm like, why are you doing it? Like, what are you doing? And but I can't help it because I just keep doing it. Like I say, right, you're going to be good today, but then I'll just go to the fridge and get a beer, and I'll just like smash in like a full tube of chocolate digestives. Like it's colossally disgusting. The type of what I'm doing at the minute, like I'm stealing Rocco's food, like so no one sees. Like I need to just get a grip. But this is what I do. So yeah. Not good.
um, I often ask people like where their mind goes when things are getting tough, and I know you said you were enjoying the race and everything like that, and maybe there was
Yeah.
some anger in there after sled pull penalty, but you said you enjoy the hurt. So where does your mind go to help you in those times?
Um. So my mind goes to like a couple of places really. Like I lost my dad when I was 23, and he was obsessed with football, and he used to push me so much at football. It was crazy, and I kind of feel like I didn't get to where he wanted me to. So I have this subconscious sort of like thing in my head, like I didn't achieve what he wanted me to from all the time and dedication he put into like taking me to training 5 6 days a week. So I always have that in my head, like you know, just kind of saying just this one time, just show him what you've done and what you can do. You know, you might not have made it in the football thing, but he's watching. So there's my dad, and then also like my mum's got severe dementia at the minute. So that also plays on my mind a lot, and that hurts me. And like I feel like if she's suffered a lot the last couple of years, and I just feel like if she can deal with the pain and of that, then I can bury myself in this race. And I don't know. I feel like because she's suffering and in pain, like me doing this I'm also like suffering in pain, and I'm just trying to achieve something that yeah Do you know what I mean by that kind of? It's difficult to
Yeah,
say, but yeah,
yeah. It makes what you
yeah,
did even more impressive, really, knowing that you'd had a rough sort of build up,
yeah,
like moving back home and all that stuff as well. Um,
yeah,
uh, I wanted to ask you about the the wall balls or the wall ball targets.
yeah.
What were your thoughts on those?
I was dreading them at first because obviously they said, "Don't worry about the wall targets. It's the judge that's counting." Um, so I was like, "Okay," but then like you don't know how much like that red, the red thing that comes on sways the judge's decision. It might sway his decision because he might throw it. I might throw it, and without that red light that come on and said no rep, he might have given it a rep because it's like a little bit to the side. So I was dreading them. Um, and yeah, like I got no reps a shed load of times, and I know Alex did as well. I think everyone did. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe for the crowd, it's better, but like I think like if the numbers and the judges' numbers were linked, so if they were the same somehow, like if his clicker matched the clicker on there, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Then that might work. But the fact that like you're looking at that number there, but then the judge might have a different number here, I just think it's stupid. I think if they can do it where like the judges reps, okay, the judge is the final say, but if his number can match the screen somehow, then yeah, it might work. But yeah, I don't like it at the minute.
Were you aware of Alex's number and all? Were you looking at both of them or not?
Yeah, yes and no. I could see it, but then when mine went down to zero, that really threw me off.
Yeah.
And I think I might have carried on, but I broke at that point because you are looking for a get out. Like you're looking for anything, and like all I need is a tiny little thing. That's why I like HYROX so much because it's predictable. It like I know what's coming. And then in certain races like Vienna when the roads didn't work and stuff like that, that really messes with me because like I know what's coming in the HYROX race. Da, 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 da. But then like when something like that throws me off or something, and I know you should be prepared, but like my personality type struggles with that type of thing, and like that definitely threw me off. I'm not saying like if I hadn't have broke, I'd have won because it might have been a 4 or 5 second difference, but yeah, I think Alex was a few reps ahead, wasn't he? So yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, this might be a stupid question for someone that's been living where you have for a while, but it was hot in the venue, and someone
Yeah,
like some people definitely coped with that better than others across the whole
yeah.
weekend. Like we're seeing age groupers and the struggle. Uh, is that something that you'd consciously worked on, or just
No,
no?
no, I didn't have a problem with the heat. Maybe because I lived in Doha for a year. Um, but like when you're living in Doha in that heat, you're not in it all the time. Like I'm training in gyms with air conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but then you kind of acclimatize to like you can be taking saunas daily and stuff like that. And I was doing some of that, but yeah, like I know the heat affected some people, but it didn't affect me. Maybe because yeah, I was living in Doha for a little bit. So yeah, yeah, it was fine for me that heat.
And then one more question about the race. Like some of your runs, I think it was the run after the row, especially
Yeah,
there was a bit of a surge in there, and even think within some runs there was some short surges like which opened up the gap or clawed back some time. Was
yeah.
that is that had you like decided to do that before the race? Had you been like, right, I'm going to push that run after the row or anything like that?
Yeah, because it's nice to just sit behind someone and sit with someone, right? But then, like I said, I was comfortable throughout the whole race, and like I'd realised after like a few hundred meters, I think, what you doing? Like you can go faster than this, and it happened a few times. Like I'd then suddenly do a surge because I felt like Hunter's and Alex's running wasn't that good, or whether mine was really good and theirs was normal. I can't remember, but I felt like I was running a lot better than them two. And particularly, everyone's talking about the surge after the row. Yeah, I felt like obviously after the sled pull, like I managed to catch up after the row, so I come off the row within striking distance. And like one of my favorite songs come in, I did it on the Hybrid Fitness Media podcast. It's like win, 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 and I don't know what happened, but that just sent me nuts. And I was like, yeah, you can effing win, you can effing win. And I just went like I was running comfortable. Then I thought, no, time to push it, and then I just pushed it, and then I managed to gap them by quite a bit. Then, so yeah, a good song come on at that time. I just need that song to come on at the same time in each race, and I think it's like a turbo for me.
Have a little word with the DJ every race.
Yeah, I might.
Um, like you talked about your running, and your running does definitely seem to have improved a lot. And I know you posted up that you've done a 15, 20,
Yeah,
3, 5K or something. So
yeah,
what is it? And it's interesting. I was thinking about it before, like you qualified in Stockholm, but like you were fourth, I think, in that race, and it was a
yeah.
good result for you at the time. And then like something's happened, I think, between now and then. There's like put you like one of the favourites before the race, like. Even without finishing a race between now and then, you were somehow like one of the favourites in my mind. I was like, "How's that happened?" But
Yeah.
you were, and like it looks like your running's improved a lot. So what is it? What you've been doing?
So yeah, so the Stockholm race came fourth. Wasn't the best performance, but like everyone has to remember, I've literally just moved. I've just moved country to Doha. I was trying to get settled in. I wasn't training that much. I'd had quite a few health issues and injuries right up to that Stockholm race, so I was by no means where I potentially can be. Somehow I managed to scoop a fourth and qualify, and it was a fantastic result for me, considering like the move and the being unsettled and stuff. I then as then in Doha, as the temperature then from September, October started to drop, that means I could run outside. So then instantly that was great because like the temperature was dropping and that means I could like start doing my track sessions and stuff. I changed running coach to Charlie Grice, but it wasn't just like that. I was running with him. So it wasn't just me going to the track or me doing stuff. I was actually running with him. He's a 1500 meter, GB Olympic athlete. So he he really improved my running a lot. I was doing a lot more speed work. So I was just covering everything: speed work, intervals, threshold, tempo, all sorts, fart leg. I was just starting to cover all different runs, and I started to add in an extra hard run session a week. Normally on a treadmill, I did. So I upped my running. I started running with an Olympic athlete who dragged me along on some of the reps. There's no doubt about it. Um, and that was it really. I just really just focused on my running, and then I also started to nail my recovery. So I went to see a girl called Kaylee like once or twice a week for deep tissue massage, which I hadn't had done before, and that really changed the game because I was like battering my body, and like quite often without before her, I'd have a niggle or something, and then that means I couldn't do one of my speed sessions. But I think the fact that I started to see Kaylee twice a week really, really like helped me for sure because that made me ready then to go on the next session. So I just started basically stacking session after session after session where previously I'd probably maybe stack 5 sessions and then I'd be carrying a niggle for a week. So then I couldn't do speed work or I couldn't do something and I'd have to go on the bike. But because I started to nail my recovery, I was just stacking multiple sessions on, and that I think that's what really helped me. But I do also believe I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but I do think I've had the potential to do a performance like I did. Not many people would have realized. I've always known it, but I've just always known like up here's been a problem for me, and I just finally managed to like put everything together.
Yeah, yeah. What sort of mileage were you doing, training wise, running?
So I don't do that much mileage at all. So I'm more quality over quantity. Like I think a lot of people are just doing garbage miles. You hear that term quite a lot, and I believe in that. So probably 40K maybe I'd say max. Yeah, really not
Okay.
much more, 40 to 50. And I know a lot of people are doing double that.
And you said there was a very hard session that you added in. What did that? What is that?
So I'd do one session would be like a VO2 session, so it'd be like 400s, 600s, 200 repeats and stuff like that. And then I might add a tempo at the front and the back. Another session would be like just a typical HYROX session, 5 to 6 1K repeats. Um, and then sometimes a third session I'd start adding a progression run in, which I haven't really done normally because I thought it might help me because quite often in races I fade, as we know. So I started adding a progression run in, only on a treadmill sometimes. But I think that changed something in me for sure because yeah, obviously progression runs are horrible because obviously you start increasing the pace as you're getting tired. So yeah, I did. I started to add that in, not every week, but I'd sprinkle it in occasionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said like you ain't got a job anymore. um,
No.
do you feel like the sport for you guys is getting closer to a place where you can live without a job?
A proper job, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. It is now. Like, how far back are we now? Yeah, we're about a week and a half, aren't we, since the race? So yeah, like things have got better for me. So like, I've had loads of new clients get in touch. So I'm coaching a lot more people. Just about to sign some deals. Um, with one big company, which is going to help me. And then I've also got an agent now who's pushing some other deals. So if I can get two or three, even four sponsorship deals plus my coaching, yeah. So like my aim is next season, if this all comes off, to go full time. So I'm going to go full time athlete with the sponsorships and sort of the online coaching I'm doing. And I think that's really going to help me because, like I say, I've been juggling a 40-hour a week office job with this. And yeah, it's unmanageable sometimes trying to train. Like, I don't train 20 hours a week all the time, but when I'm coming up to a big race, I'm touching 20 hours a week. And like, when you do the maths, doing a 40-hour week work plus a commute plus like trying to be a husband and father with the other stresses in life, it's undoable. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
undoable, really. It just starts to really, you question everything. So I'm just really hoping, yeah, this is going to hopefully help me nail this, and I'm going to go for the win next year. I'm going to give it everything because I'm going to have more time to do it. So yeah,
Okay.
that's the plan.
Awesome. So you also won the relay, uh, which was a great race. Like how was it? Was it painful? It looked painful on the row, especially.
I can't believe we won that race. I'll be honest. I was thinking top threes possible. We're looking at America, Germany. You know, Alex's Austria. That team looked good, and like JK got some specialists in, and I was scared because a lot of these people got specialists in, which I was thought, damn, should I have done that? But then, like, no, like we nailed it. Like, I think Jake was the man of the match. He absolutely nailed that run ski run. That was phenomenal. I didn't think he had that in him. I knew he could run, but I didn't know he could ski. And he come off the ski a few seconds behind Hunter, and I was like, I knew we had it then because I was just going to nail that next run, and I knew that no one could touch me on the sled push. And like, I think I managed to get like a 45, 50-second lead after that sled push or something. And I knew like if we could just like keep our composure, we've got it. But like, yeah, like the team was phenomenal. Kate and Zara, like they'd just become doubles world champions like before that. And like they'd done the elite race, they'd done that, and then they performed like they did then. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I agree with you with Jake. I weren't expecting he could ski like that. Like I thought he needed a decent lead off the run
Yeah.
to come. Yeah,
And what
amazing.
about the lunges? Like I've never seen anyone lunge like that. Like Tobias can lunge, Kent can lunge, and they were nowhere near him. Jake was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. It was class. Did you enjoy it though? Like, was it a
No,
good atmosphere?
no. Like I say, mate, I was partying, and like I say, and when I open them floodgates, the food goes in. I felt like a Teletubby running around there. It might have looked quick, but it felt slow. I, I felt like a barrel. Honestly, I felt basically round, and like I'm sure I had chocolate biscuits and beer still swashing around in my stomach. But I knew that like I knew after the elite race, right, I could smash some beers in and some food, and I knew that I could just do a run in a station and it would be okay. Like my performance is going to be okay, and it was like I managed to run and do a station, but the row, I was just absolutely dead. Like, because I knew Hunter was there and I knew he'd want to try and come off the road before me, but there's no chance I was going to let that happen. So I just closed my eyes. My technique looked horrendous. Like, don't ever, like, no one just think that that's my road technique because it wasn't. I was just holding on for dear life. And yeah, we got it done, didn't we?
You did. Did you know what pace you were putting on the row?
I had my eyes shut. No, no. The pain was that much. Like, oh no, I was pulling a decent pace. I think I was starting to get a gap, Dominic beside me, but then I think Hunter was going a similar pace. But like, I just knew if I just keep pulling this and close my eyes, I'm going to get off first, and then we did. So, yeah,
So
amazing.
what does off season look like apart from apart from eating? Are you any competing any sport? You doing anything?
So it's yeah, so I'm here now till Saturday, and then Hunter's doing a camp in Malta, and the guy that owns the gym has been asking me to go, but obviously I definitely needed to dedicate some family time, so I turned down the Malta camp. But then a week today, I'm flying to Milan, and I'm going to go hiking up the Dolomites with Hunter and George Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go backpacking up the mountains for like a week or so, I think. So that should be amazing. I'm hoping that'll be fun. And then after that, we get our house back. So our tenants are leaving our house July the 5th. So yeah, that's going to be amazing. I need to rebuy all the stuff that we'd sold a year ago after we rented our house out. But obviously the winnings I'm getting from the World Champs will help that, and basically kit out my home gym again if I can. Try and get some help with that as well. So yeah, basically, yeah, do them holidays, get home, move back in the house, try and get settled, and yeah, start training, but just slowly. Don't want to do anything too specific, and just build up because it's a long season. It's going to be intense, and like I know people start way too soon to do and they just bury themselves and things. So yeah, build slowly, mate.
And then once we're back into the season, assuming the elite setup is similar to this year, will you do all the majors? Would that be your intention?
Yeah, I'll do all the majors definitely. That's the plan, I think, because yeah, again, like as an athlete now, like we need to earn money, so and there's prize money at them races, so it's sort of stupid that I don't not do them. So I'll hit the four majors, so long as like one's not in Australia or something. It has to be a little bit sensible. But yeah, I'll try and hit the four majors, all being well, and yeah, maybe do another. Maybe do it. I think me and Hunter are on about doing a doubles in London. We're trying to like break that 50 in the pro, break our record and break the 50-minute mark in the pro. That would be amazing. So I think we got that. And maybe a mixed doubles with a girl, whoever wants to. Maybe Kate. Kate's asking me, so I think we should do one together. So yeah, that's the plan.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for this. Well done again. Brilliant race.
Thanks,
I
bro.
think it's what the sport needed as well. Like a decent bit of competition, and everyone's excited now for next
Yeah.
year as well, which is good to see.
Yeah.
But well, actually, one question I wanted to ask, and I'm mainly asking this because on Hunter's benefit, really, I've had a lot of people ask me, "Oh, what was Hunter like? Was he a bad loser? Why didn't he turn up for this, that, and the other?" But from my perspective, that like he's not a bad loser, is he? Like,
Oh.
how's he been with you?
Hunter's a great guy. Hunter's like misunderstood in the sport a lot. Like me and him have grown really close, and he honestly, he gives me advice. He congratulated me. He is honestly he's an absolute great guy. Love the guy. And no, like he did a post, didn't he, after the race, and he was honest and raw, and like he's got like 12,000 likes or something. But because it was such an honest and raw post, he didn't make any excuses. He said like it was the hardest build he's ever done, and it's hardest camp he's ever done, and there was no excuses there. It was just it was just honesty, and yeah, that's what I loved about the post. And he's a top guy. Like we met up, and after the party, me, Hunter, and George went and just had some quiet beers down past Nice, where so the after party was at the club. We just went off and had some beers and stuff. And no, he's a great guy. He was humble, no excuses, and yeah, top guy.
Yeah. All right, nice one. Thank you for this. If people want to follow you, find out more about you, your coaching, all that, where should they go?
Sandy6000 Instagram. Yeah, and then just drop me a DM if anyone's interested in one-on-one coaching, because I'm pushing that now. That's going to be full time for me. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice one. Enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Cheers, Greg. Cheers, mate.